It is about 5:30 in the morning, and I had a design going through my head, and I just could not sleep until I started to work on it. I am going to put together for you a Thanksgiving centerpiece. This is going to be my Thanksgiving centerpiece. I want it bodacious, a little bling, and functional. So I'm going to turn you around and take you through it. I'm starting this arrangement with a dough bowl, and this dough bowl is huge. It's, well, let me measure it for you so you know for sure. It is about 22.5 by 11.5. That's a good size bowl. So that's going to allow us, first of all, to be able to put the arrangement in. I want a light source in there as well, besides just the beauty. I wanted to use a lantern. I had all kinds of little things that I really wanted to be able to put in this bowl. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, so I'm starting with some Christmas garland. And I think this garland is going to work out real well. As you can see, I've just taken it and kind of folded it together here. I'm going to take these little pieces and just kind of twist a little, just enough to get it to lay in the bowl. And that's a good thing. This is just a Walmart garland, and I cut it in half, and I use it in a lot of my arrangements. So we've got our dough bowl. Let me try to get you down just a little better view. There you go. All right, so we've got our dough bowl. Now, in this dough bowl, I also have a block, a floral block. And as you can see, it's seen its better days. But it's going to make it through Thanksgiving and Christmas. You watch. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it all the way over to the side. The good thing about this is that I actually use this same one in my summer and spring arrangement. I just took it out. I'm leaving some of the greenery that I got from Hobby Lobby in the bottom. And I'm going to, as you can see, nobody even missed that because it was so covered up. So I've got those little pieces in there. That's where that's going to go. But I'm going to take this out for just a second because I do want to do one more thing to the garland. Now, I have some fall garland, and I'm going to take this fall garland and I'm going to work it into this arrangement. So I am laying it in, and notice I'm focusing more on one particular side. I want most of the leaves and the pumpkins and squash, the pine cones, all those things. I want them predominantly on the far side, because what's going to happen is that, yes, I will add some to that, and I'm just going to take a bit of the little garland stems and just give it a twist just to hold it in place. I don't want it to fall. And I'm going to twist here. I'm going to give it one more twist down there at the end. And I've got to making sure that those garland pieces are up so that they're visible. This garland's been around several years, and it was a Hobby Lobby find as well. So we're going to get that piece in. I'm just going to give it a little twist just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. All right, so that piece is in. Now, so we're ready to put in the block. I'm going to put the block in place, and once I do that, then I'm going to work on where the lights are going to go. Now, my light source is going to actually be a lantern. Yes, a lantern is going to be in there. So I'm leaving enough room on this end. As you can see, I'm folding it back. All the floral things will go there. And I have a lantern that is about, I'll say 4 by 4, maybe a little larger than that. I'm not sure. Let me see. It's about 5.5 by 5.5. Go ahead. And we're going to put this on the side. Now I'm turning it so it opens in the opposite direction, so that I can get in and out of it, because I can exchange things and take them in and out. So there's our lantern. I also have this container that I am going to put inside of the lantern. But I thought about this. I think I want a candle in the lantern, so should I decide to actually burn a candle, I can. So this is I'm gonna have to do this very carefully, because I don't want to break the jar. So I'm putting this into this jar, and it's going to give this container just a tiny bit of color. So there we go. We got it in, and I'm going to get that closed so it's secure. There we are. Now we can get in and out of there when I need to, if I decide to light the candle. But once everything else is in, you're going to be able to see the color of that candle just slightly through the sides of the mercury glass container. All right, now it's time to work on the other side. Now, you know, it's always fun when you find something else. I found another piece of that same garland, because very often when garlands are extremely long, I will cut them. And when I was looking for my base pieces for this arrangement, I found the other half. So what I'm doing is that I'm going in on the other side, and I'm laying this in as well, just like I did the other, but only from the opposite direction, so that both sides of this arrangement, let me take this out so you can see what I'm doing, so that both sides of this arrangement, there we go, both sides of this arrangement is covered. There's that little piece. I'm going to tuck it down. Of course, you'll never see it anyway, but it's just nice to know that you have it in there. So I'm going to take these, I'm kind of pulling those up. I don't want to lock those down. I want them to be free. And they're wired, so I'm going to give them a little life. And they're going to come through when we're working on this arrangement. So everything on this garland can stand, which is really nice, and we can just bring it alive. So let's do that, and that's what I'm trying to do. So while I want to secure it, I don't want to pull those things down that need to be out and up. So we have our gourds and our pine cones. Okay, got that part locked in, and I think this one is in pretty securely. So now we're ready to put this back in. So I'm just going to move things out of the way and tuck it right inside of there again. So see how nicely that fits? We don't have to worry about it falling out. And you can see already some of that is going to be, all of that in fact, will be hidden. So I don't even have to worry about having to cover it with moss or any of those things. Now what I'm going to do at this point is that I'm going to take some leaves. I have Hobby Lobby leaves. I just pulled all the leaves I had in my box. I've got Hobby Lobby leaves. I've got Dollar Tree leaves. I've got all kinds of leaves. So we're going to put those leaves into and around the sides of this arrangement. So trying to see if you can see. I'll do this side where you can see that I'm tucking it in. I'm just going to kind of raise this up, and I'm going to put these in to the side. And because I don't want to cut these, I'm just going to put them in because I may be able to use them in something else sometime or another. And I may need the length. So for that reason, I'm just trying to see where I'm taking it and poking them in. I'll see if I can get you at a better angle. I'm not sure you're really able to see. Hold on one second. Okay, I think that may be a little better view, and I'll kind of move it out so you really can see. But this is all the greenery that's there, and hopefully at this point the block is just going to start to disappear. So I'm taking these picks, these little leaf picks, and I'm putting them all around the block. And what it's going to do two things. It's going to hide the block, but most of all, it's going to hide the garland. So we're putting those in, and it's going to start to bring this arrangement alive. So I'm going to fold this up. I'm not going to cut the ends because I want it to, I want to keep the length. Okay, see how I'm putting those in, and just kind of push those leaves up a little bit. And I'm going to put one over here on this side. I got just enough room, I think, to get it in. So depending on where you're looking at it, there's color everywhere. So we've got color here, we've got color there, and there's just color, which is really nice. Now, like I said, those were the Hobby Lobby leaves. Let's see where my Dollar Tree leaves are. Here they are. Oh, actually, these are not Dollar Tree. These are Walmart leaves. And I've cut them apart. I had them in something else, and I had too many. So I'm just going to tuck a few of those in because their color is just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to put one over here, one in the opposite direction. Here you can see a little more red, and I'm going to put, I think I'm doing pretty good over here. I'm going to put one right about here so that those leaves are very visible. So that's really filling in around the sides. Now, we need all things tall. We want to do those first. And I have front and center this beautiful red, kind of burgundy hydrangea that I'm going to place. And I'm placing it, and you'll notice that it is almost at the height of the lantern, which is exactly what I wanted. I have some other hydrangeas. They're in different colors. And actually, I found these. They're not as large as this one is a hobby. The burgundy one is a Hobby Lobby. These are, I found at Dollar General. So I'm going to put them one on each side. So let's do one here, the green one there, the kind of rusty orange there. So we have the 3 hydrangeas. Now, I also had some of the Hobby Lobby, I call them sunflowers, but they're red sunflowers. And I have several of these. Let's see, here's 1, 2, and I thought I had a third one, but I'm sure it will show up somewhere or another. At this point, oh, there it is. I do have 3. Now this one is actually a part of an arrangement. I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to leave these. Now, I'm going to bring one this way, and I'm doing the larger, remember, large flowers first. So I'm doing the large flower, one here, that I'm kind of bringing toward the front. I have another, and I'm going to do a triangle. So I'm going to put one on this side, and one on this side. All right. So those are in 1, 2, and 3. And we have 3 hydrangeas. I always think in thirds, thinking in 3s, because you think odd numbers when you're designing. Now, I have some smaller hydrangeas, and in fact, I had one more hydrangea that was a part of the ones I found at Dollar General, and I'm going to use it. I haven't decided if I'll put it over there. We'll see. I may put some of these around on the sides so that they add to the side of the lantern. There's one there, and I think I have a few more. At least I thought I did. I had some loose ones. I was sure I did. Well, I'll keep looking, because I'm pretty sure I do. That I have some little hydrangeas that are like this. I probably dropped them in the process of bringing them in. Okay, now I have little bunches. I love these little bunches of these little flowers. They pick up the burgundies, and they're just very pretty. So we are going to use these in the arrangement as well. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it right in the middle, because I've opened it up, and then that way I can wiggle it wherever I want it to go. I can just kind of push those branches down and make them go in the direction that I would like for them to go. So I'm working with these and getting them all over the arrangement. Okay, I'm going to raise you up just a little more, because I do want you to be able to see better. Okay. Now, I think what I will do, I thought I had another little hydrangea, but I don't think so. So I'm going to take this one, and I think once it's tucked down in there, it's going to work just as well as this one, just to have a little something extra flower-wise on the side of this floral arrangement. This is a big one, so it's going to be out there. Remember, I told you, bodacious is what was going through my head. Now, I do have some individual pieces of that little flower that I am going to put in just wherever I think it needs a little something extra. And we're working with that. I think I have one more. Okay. All right, I got one more. I'm going to put it right there. Okay. Now, you can tell my colors very quickly as to what colors I'm kind of going with. I have these beautiful kind of an orangey color sunflower that I want to include as well. And I wasn't sure where I was going to put it. I think I'm going to bring it over to this side. And I think I'm going to put that in right there. And yes, I have one more. So let me go get that. All right, I have one more. And I'm going to put it this way. So it will, I think I need to cut it off just a little bit. It's a little too long, and that's a little more than we need. Let me snip that. There we go. Let's see where I had it. Right through there. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Now, so we have our pieces in. Okay, there we go. And we're working it. All right, I like that. Now, we need fillers. Just little fillers. And I'm trying to decide if I want my fillers to be very colorful. I had considered, I had some little bushes that I had gotten at the Dollar Tree. But I also have some more things that I think are a little lighter that I think I'll use. So, let's see what we can do. Okay, Walmart had great picks this year. And I'm going to take some of these that are very light, just to add, I think the lightness will add a little touch of sparkle. And I have some berries. And because the deep burgundies just kind of take over after a while. But the bling is about to come. Just hold your horses. You're going to see that bling. Let's see, I have that one over there. I'm going to put this one over here. There we go. And I've got a few feathers. I'm going to put a feather here. And I'm going to put some feathers over here. There we go. And we've got some little pumpkins that are going to be in there, but I'm not ready for those yet. And I still have some little pine cones with leaves. I'm just going to kind of add them in because they're not that big, but it's just enough to give you a little something different. As we work our way around this, there we go. And it's just something different to look at. So as you're working on your arrangement, walk around it, because then that way you can see what your arrangement needs very quickly. All right, so we got the lightness in there. Now's the time to add the extras. Okay, first of all, I had some little, I guess we call it wheat. I'm going to add a little bit of that in. Put that right in there, just enough to kind of peek out. I only had a couple, but guess what? It's going to make a difference. And I'm going to take this one and bring it in right here. Just add that little bit of gold. Now, speaking of gold, it's time to bring in the bling. I have an entire plate of blinged out pumpkins that I want to include in this arrangement. And so, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get some skewers. I have those skewers that you get from the Dollar Tree. And I'm looking for the extra long ones because I think we're going to need the length. So Gonna get our little chopsticks going. And I'm gonna take these chopsticks, and I use them pretty frequently, to, oops, this one doesn't want to open. Let me see if I can poke a hole in here. That one didn't want to go in. Okay, let me find another one. Okay, I've got little gourds. Okay, that one's going in. Okay, got little gold gourds that I'm going to place in. Some little pumpkins. Just hit the bottom. Find a spot. That one's a little tall, so I'm going to need it in a place where it can stand. And you know, we're tucking this in places where, I'm going to take that one out, because I think what I'm going to do back here is that I'm going to take this stem and put it in right back there. Now what that's going to do is add a little kayal to the back and also hide the works. Okay, that took care of that. So let's take our pumpkins and our gourds, and we're going to put them in. So if I can find a place for them. And I do want to secure these with, okay, that one's in. And I'm going to take this one. I thought I had one that was in half, but maybe not. And sometimes you need something a little heavier. I do have one of the stems. I don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. I know I kind of want to keep this reasonable because of the fact that I'm going to need to get in and out of there. So I think what I'm going to do on this side is that I'm going to put in some leaves. Because I really don't want that greenery to show very much. And that just kind of takes care of that right there. And guess what I found? One more little wheat. So let's get him tucked in somewhere so he's happy. There we go. He's right there. And I'm going to walk around to the other side. I've still got some of my greenery showing. So I don't want that. And that's the good thing about walking. You have to walk around your arrangement, especially when they're large, because you just cannot see everything from one point. So there we go. We got that there. Now what I'm going to attempt to do, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to see if I can get the point. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. That works right there. I got that gourd right there on the leaf. That works out there. And I need a little bit of greenery over here. And I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to go to the top of it and put it right into, I hope, the back of this little squash. Now these little squashes I painted. Okay, there we go. He tucks in very nicely right there. So he's a part of the arrangement. I have this particular, see if I can figure out a piece of something that's heavy enough to go through this pumpkin. This is one of those nicer pumpkins. And I say nicer in that I paid a little more for this one. And it was already gold. There we go. Okay, that goes in there. We got a hole. That's the main thing. All right. Now I can take this. I got him in. And I am going to sit it right there. Because this side of the dough bowl needs to be very pretty as well. Now I'm going to move all of these other flowers so you can just see the bowl itself. I have it on I'm sitting it on a tablecloth, and I'm going to move all the extra flowers. I'm not sure that we won't come back and add some of those in. And you find little strings that show up every now and then. You know what to do with those. Just kind of, you find little differences of, sometimes you want little texture changes. I kind of like that. I wish I had something that really was more gold, so I may have to work on that. Find a little more bling in what I'm doing. But anyway, that's moving along. I found another wheat, and I'm going to place it right here, because that's where we need something. So I can get it in. There we go. All right, now I'm cleaning this up because I do want you to see what we've done. I have lots of little beads and all kinds of little things. So we'll see. Taking the extras away so that you can really get a good look. Okay, we'll bring you down. I'm going to stand you up. Loosen this. Okay. Hold on one second. Okay. Now, I've got you at a point where you can see this bowl on the table. And you see I still have that gold pumpkin that I'm trying to figure out if I want it, and if so, where it should go. But I'm pretty happy with what I'm looking at this point. And then you can see the lantern. Now I think what I'll really do, is that I will put in some lights. And you know, I think that little sparkle will be just exactly what we need. Now, I have one little gourd here that we need to hide. So I'm going to have to work on him. So I'm going to take him out for the moment. And you can see where I've added in my lantern is a gold and copper with the mercury glass inside. You should be able to see just a hint of the orange inside the orange candle, and I think that will look beautiful on your Thanksgiving table. Now I'm taking the camera around so you can see. That is so pretty, and that is going to be so beautiful once I put the lights through it. And I think I may even put lights even into the floral portion. So what I'm going to attempt to do here, we'll see if it works out. I'm going to try to turn it with one hand, but it's pretty heavy. So there we go. So when I'm ready to set that table and put everything in place, This is going to be beautiful. The cool thing is the lantern that has that coppery, silvery, goldy color, and it is that color because that's how I painted it. The plates that I'm going to be using in chargers also have that same patina. So this table is going to be gorgeous. This is just my working table at this point, not the table that's going to be set for Thanksgiving. So I hope you have enjoyed taking a look at how I thought through my Thanksgiving tablescape. And I'll give you another picture and let you see what it looks like with all the lights in place. Okay? Take care and be blessed. Off the tripod, and I'm trying to allow you to see if I can get a few other things kind of straightened out there. There we go. And I want you to see that I've placed in little lights so that, well, I know it's daytime at this point, but you'll be able to see how it's lit. All the little bits of light. So when it's sitting in the dining room and the lights are not on, you will be able to see everything. Now let's talk about this lantern. Can you see just a hint of color coming from that lantern? Now what I did was to place, I'm going to try to see if I can bring it closer. I placed inside of the lantern some little fairy lights. So, and I think I will use the fairy lights rather than actually lighting the candle, because we're going to have some little ones that'll be running around, and I think that's going to work perfectly. But you can just see how having those little lights add little bits of sparkle around our centerpiece. So I am just thrilled with this centerpiece, and I hope you like it too. So today's work, we've worked hard, we love God and family, and we know without a doubt that everything else is just gravy. I hope that you have a blessed and wonderful day, because now it is about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's time for me to get ready and get moving for the rest of the day. So I love that you've been with me. Thank you to my new subscribers, and come back because there's lots more to come. Enjoy.